Before anything, good morning. I am grateful to be here in this so serious moment. We represent Ecuador and we're very proud of belonging to this professional group. Welcome, all of you. I have been appointed to give the bio data of Dr. Hugo López, mechanical engineer from the La Salle University, and also water pump manufacturing research from Evara Corporation, and also scholarship from AOTS. And he is also a fan of Ikebana tea ceremony, high temperature ceramics, Aikido, and Kendo. Also technology administration courses in 2000 and quality control in Japan. Pioneer of Soroban in Mexico. Has written 10 books of Soroban. Ex-chairman from Internship Association AOTS, also founder of Kenshu Center, chairman of Friends Mexico Japan, and also organizer of the mathematics internship Tomate, and also director of the Cultural Center Brain or Cerebro in Spanish. Please, a big applause or he will not show up. Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm going to give the Oracle forecast. This is a response, or this is a forecast by kings, by priests. That could be true or false. Please, this could be true or false. Oracles could be principle, experiences that can be conveyed to give a response for resolving any event. The Delphos oracle in Greece was very famous, and we had a king, and he asked the Delphos oracle, "What shall I do? Should I attack the enemy army?" So he had the answer. If you go to the east and cross the river, a big empire will be defeated. So he made a partnership with other king. He went to the east, he crosses the river, and then the Greek empire was defeated. Was it a lie of the oracle? Of course not. The problem was the interpretation. So the first forecast of the oracle, there is going to be an earthquake in Mexico City. So if you hear the seismic alarm, or if you feel it is shaking, don't enter into panic. We have 1 minute to leave the building. So be calm and go to the parking. Nothing will fall down. Please do not go to the street. It is really very dangerous because power poles can fall down. You can also be hit by a car. So the safest thing is go to the meeting room. That's the first forecast. Oh, the oracle will never say when. So please remember, if you feel an earthquake or hear the seismic alarm, please leave to the meeting room. You leave from the back of the room. Do you agree? Please answer. Thank you. When I started to prepare my speech, I was thinking how the world will be in 50 years. We have two of them, two forecasts. the world will be without water. The young people say, we're not going to have food, no water, I'm not going to have children. It is useless to live, and they get into depression. So if you have children and they are millennials, they have this thought. Another forecast. This is a positive forecast. There we have a website called Technological Radar. It forecasts what's going to happen in 50 years, and it is divided into different areas. For example, if we see this, talking about education, this circle here has an egg part. It talks about education. It has an application in internet so they can start learning. Then, talking about production, you can see, and then you can see this health, technology, education, accounting. All the areas are included here. If someone thinks that in 50 years this is going to happen, well, we're not going to die thirsty. So this is a technological positive forecast. Technology has saved us up to now, and if we have a prediction that said that we were going to starve and die of thirst because food will be reproduced, now it turns out that we have much more people. However, we have not starved, we're feeding them. There's an oversupply of food. We have bad distribution. That's the problem. But the actual prediction is that we're going to witness this. This is a prediction of the present oracle. I will reserve mentioning names anyway. But they were asking me in 2050 what's going to happen. One thing is 30 years, one thing is 50 years. And in 2050 is 30 years. What's going to happen then? Very easy. First of all, automation will be the queen. Everything that could be automated would be automatic. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be automatic. If it is not automatable, then it cannot be. So we need to pose this question. How's your work? Do you make repetitive operations? You continuously do the same? Do you need a lot of data? The type of decisions you make follow a script or a pattern. If this happens, then you will do this. If that happens, you will do that. Please analyze your work, your job. If it meets all these three characteristics, then your function, your job would be automated. What does that mean? Are you going to be jobless? That's a big question. When I started 30 years ago, I invented a system which is teaching through computers. I used to take computers, teachers, and material to school. And teachers rejected this because they said computers will replace us. 30 years have passed by. Now computers are present in schools? Yes or no? Of course. Certainly they are. And they fill classrooms increasingly. First, they were reserved for computing lessons, but right now in classrooms they are with the computers. So computers have filled the schools. And what about the teachers' jobs? Have they been replaced? No, but automatable things have been substituted. For example, if I want a child to make math operations, then I use a program and the kid will do that. That was an automated, repetitive action that needed data. Therefore, the main function of the teacher is not removed. They say everything is in internet, in the web. Yes, but look for it, find it. And then interpret that information. That's what teachers are for, to digest all this information. So our jobs will not be replaced. Only automation will come to those functions. It depends on us. Andrés Oppenheimer, a journalist from Argentina, he lives in the United States, has devoted his time to this research. And he wrote a book in Spanish, it's Sálvese quien pueda, Save Yourself. And he mentions some very important topics. We will see a summary. First of all, what's automation? Automation sounds like a computer science. When I was a kid, I studied mechanical engineering, and I always imagined things like mechanics to automate functions. And this is during the second industrial revolution, the automation era. So I had that idea. And as time passed by, we will turn from this machine automation to process automation. There are different things. In processes, we need computers, and computers are dumb. They only know how to do three things. First, repetitive operations. You put a computer to do the same, it will never get tired or complain. They are really good for math with kids because the kid will have mistakes and the computer will never get mad at the kid. Number two, calculations. Computers are very good for that. They were invented precisely to calculate your trip to the moon. Research of space traveling from NASA gave rise to computers. And number three, store big amounts of data. Now with cell phones, and we always say this, now a cell phone has more capability than the computer that calculated the moon journey 50 years ago. So now we store information. Now we have a lot of information, and sometimes our cell phones cannot handle this amount of data, and we buy more memory, and the more we have, the more we want. That's the third function. If we see the functions of computers and we see automation from this point of view, you will see how we have a huge scenery. We will see 10 ways how automation will be. 10 areas of jobs of the future. And this is done, this is mentioned in Andrés Oppenheimer's book, Sálvense quien pueda, every man for himself. First of all, health assistant. It says, rise in life expectancy make jobs that are related to health to survive automation and be more important. If we have had the chance to ask our parents, how many, to your grandparents, how many children you had? Well, I had 7 alive. How's that? Yes, because 2 of them passed away when they were children. My mother had 5 alive and 1 of them died. And then also a miscarriage. Currently, if you ask a young man how many children he will have, he will certainly say 2 and they will be alive. And when they want, and then they can also choose the gender. So we can control now birth, life. Why they had 10 children? Because they died along the way. We had a lot of diseases. Many of them have been eradicated and we have vaccines. So people live longer and reach old ages. What's happening right now? If we have 2 children or we decide not to have children, when they come to this old age, who they will live with? My grandmother. 2 daughters were single and took care of her till she passed away. My mother, one of my sisters, was single and she remained with that and she didn't have any kids. Who's going to take care of her? Nieces? They just come to ask for money.
So, what is going to be like a business? Like elderly walker. Have you seen the dog walkers? I don't know if your countries you have this. This is a walker that walks 20 dogs. So there's many people that the kids that are like very talkative and they walk this old person, and this old person talks, has a chance to talk. So it is not only to have this person lying in bed, it is like the active care on the social part. All the rooms 10 years ago like could be very good. I was sent like to have like 1 day for the elderly people. Many years ago was a total failure, but now this has become very popular. They play cards, they have lunch, and then they are taken, like they're driven home at night. So that could be a way. The data analysts, data engineers, and programmers. Oh, the data will be the most valuable product in the next years. The oil of the 21st century, as it's called, and ones that dedicate their life to exploration and analysis will have a secure job. We need to convert data in information. Let us imagine. So there's like a a big lunch. You sit down. So I want to introduce you Emilio, and the young kid says, "Okay, how are you?" And then he's gone, and then they can continue talking, and at the end of this lunch, I say, "What did how Emilio Escarraga looked like?" Or Emilio Escarraga, I was with the director of Televisa, and I didn't even talk to him. Okay, what's the difference between the information data? The data, Emilio, this is a data or a datum. Emilio Azcárraga, president of Televisa. What is it? Information. Do you understand this? This is the difference between data and information. You are living in the world of information. That is why you're paid for. When you go to those companies and you say, I'm going to, and you present all the financial statements, you're talking about data. Those are useless. The thing is how to interpret the data. This is information, and this is where you are or become valuable. If you perceive your work as a distribution of information or selling information, how do you see this? What I have to do? This is what customers ask. They never ask for data. We know that they know what they sell and what they buy, but this is what they are asking for, information. So as we are able to convert data and information, we will become more valuable. I was talking last year about Facebook, about what the data mining was. And data mining, it is not like to go over data and transform the data and information. And people are devoted to data mining. If you want to strive in life, please transform your business in a data mining, and then this will become information. The digital policies, as the economy is transferred to digital world, we will need to protect even more companies against cyber attacks. This is a reality now. Even all the big corporations as banks, they have this kind of attacks, and it is even more frequent nowadays. I have always said, what's the point of protecting me? Who will attack me? So probably you are not like in the same channel. For example, if you manage the data of companies, your thing is to protect them because this is sensitive information. So people that are protecting those data will have work or a job. And another thing that is equally important, probably in their work areas, nobody has been concerned about developing tools to protect this kind of data. Yeah, we say, I have McAfee and I won't have any virus. No, they are becoming much more sophisticated. And banks are hacked as well. So we need to try to perceive how can I do to protect my data by creating systems and probably sell them. That could be a good business in terms of data protection. Well, the third one, the sales advisors. This is something curious. As the physical stores will be replaced by online commerce, more specialists will be needed that could advise the public about the features and the price of each product. Please, as a show of hands, tell me if you buy in a physical stores, whatever you want. I'm talking about clothing or, well, do you have the microphone over here? He doesn't know. What do you do instead? Well, there's different ways. First, you need, like, you go to a physical store, or you can navigate in internet and make contact with a person. And the other thing, you can ask everything online, and will have your things sent to your place. What do you do? Like, probably I buy more online. So you don't go that much to a physical store. Yes, well, I spare, for example, like to go. I don't want to get in a traffic jam or in a line to pay my things. So I save time if I order everything online. So all the trend is going online. But if you have a concern or a question, what do you do? If ever, well, I also ask online, and who is answers? First to machine. Well, depends on the web page. First, you a robot answers. Okay. Well, please hold on, and then we have like a sales assistant that would tell you what do you want, the colors, if it's available or not, or if you will have it in your country, if you can have it sent home, or if it's shipping costs. Well, depending on the web page, well, things can be really clear when there's a person behind. Or sometimes this is more systematized. You have like to fill out forms instead of having a communication with someone. And thank you. Thank you. So something that seemed that, well, probably we're not used to do that, but this is becoming more popular. So, and we will no longer be there, and they will, and the youngsters will be doing everything online. So we need someone to support the sale. Those are the sales reps. They are not like sellers. They are just specialized, and they can make the customer to buy this or that, or with a click the customer can go somewhere else. Okay, the caregivers and robot programmers. When I was studying engineering, we had the cybernetic engineering career. The machines are the slaves of man, not the opposite. And everything people that are dedicated to programming are slaves of the machines, and they have to repair everything so the computer will continue working. In mechanic engineers we know them as the boulder carriers. If the boulder does not have fire, you don't have hot water in your bathroom. In the hotel, there's someone that is seeing that the boiler is working or not, so they become slaves of the machines. But we think that the world will be increasingly automated with more computers, more machines, and the ones that are in charge of the maintenance of those machines will have a job. So the sales of industrial robots worldwide the increase will be fivefold in 2025. This is impressive. What's a robot that everybody has at home? What is it? A robot that everybody has at home. The cleaning robot, or the broom, or which one? I'm sorry, but they need the person that help us at home. A robot is a person. My mom used to say that he wanted to have the roboting the Jetsons, but if you have a robot at home, it's called the fridge, and it's been there for 50 years. It's always cold, and this is a robot. It's not that are moving. No, the robots are very simple machines that do automated jobs. They always do the same thing. Well, we will have more instruments of the like. For example, the microwave can be programmed, the coffee machine as well. If I want to have a coffee at 8 a.m., the coffee is ready. So the robots are invading us without us noticing it. So therefore we need more programmers. Ay, ya se fue. So, and more maintain or more people that maintain this. If the fridge is not working, I cannot imagine a house without a fridge and going like every day to a supermarket. I can't conceive this. So the professors and teachers, there will be more professors and teachers that will educate people to operate robots and to have like much more sophisticated machines. The robot will do the things that are unpleasant, and as people, we will do the more difficult or sophisticated things. This is a huge problem. Let's see. There's two kinds of jobs. The jobs that are supervised by humans, and the humans will supervise robots. So why this is a huge problem? If we have someone that charges the tickets in a parking lot, what does this person do? He has no preparation. So if you have him doing a more sophisticated job, he will need training. That is why we need professors and teachers. The alternative energy specialists, the green wave, they will have a job for sure. Also the artists, sportmen, and entertaining creators. And I met a Spanish guy. The remedy is to distribute the job. What do you mean? Instead of working 48 hours, work 24, and we will rest 24. So instead of having one person working, we will have two. The week work schedule in Europe is 35 years. What will happen with this time off? We need more entertainment, and the artists will have more and more possibility if sportsmen or this kind of activities are the ones that will increase. So we need to our focus must be towards that. Okay, creators and commercial content designers. If everything is going to be online, if the web page has no content, nobody will browse there. The more content they have, those web page will have much more followers or consultations. So we need to design commercial content. You have questions? The spiritual advisors. We will have a lot of work. Priests, rabbis, we will have our job secure during a long time because families are like broken up. And the increased solitude of people in the digital communication era are to find the true sense of our life. That people are very disoriented, and they need more and more spiritual counsel. The gospel Yesterday's gospel is very well related. It is according to St. Luke. The apostles told the Lord, please make our faith grow. And the Lord said, if you had faith as a grain of mustard, you would tell this mulberry tree, please rip the root and plant yourself in the sea, and the tree will obey you. This is the first part of the gospel. The second part, who among you, if has a servant plowing, tells, please come with me and have a seat in my table, wouldn't you tell him, prepare my dinner, groom yourself, and serve me while I eat and drink, and then you will eat and drink? This is the second part. The third part, wouldn't be grateful to the servant because he has done what he has been instructed? The same thing, when you have done everything that you have been instructed, you will say, we are useless servants. We have done what we were supposed to do. So the third part talks like about faith, but let us translate this into nowadays words. We have a goal, and you have to have faith in a goal. If you're going to automate this process, many people will say, no, this is crazy. So we need to have like a mustard grain size of faith. And the second part, what does it say? We need to work. And don't to expect anyone to thank you. And you're very, if you work a lot, nobody will tell you, okay, stop working. So we need to work hard to achieve that goal. The third part, what is it? What's the third part? We are useless servants. When we were done with that work, it was this guy who did it. Nobody remembers this, but you will transform the society. Okay? So conclusion, the first one, we should be prepared for automation. How we need to automate our processes, and second, we need to search for business options. Probably we have it there, but we don't see it. So we need to see that. I was giving computer classes, and you have a mathematical tournament, and we, in my mind, and then someone told me, okay, do it, and now we're doing it. Conclusion, we need to act fast because economic cycles are increasingly shorter, so we need to be continuously searching for new business. If you 3 or 4 years will pass by, and then you will have a new business line, but we need continuously innovate one over again. The third, we need to be very aware of the opportunities, to have in mind that someone that always loses, there's another person that is always winning. Okay, my business is not working anymore. What someone took over. So this is an anecdote. Like my uncle, when he was a child, he was sent to a carbon mine, a coal mine, and the coal stove at home was changed for an oil or petroleum stove, and he had to carry those buckets. So the one that was selling coal didn't have a job anymore, and then they changed this because the stoves were changed to petroleum, and now the petroleum stoves were changed for gas. stoves. Well, and then they have like stationary tanks, and the ones that were carrying those cylinders didn't have a job anymore, and now we have natural gas. So the ones that were driving the cylinders or the stationary tanks also disappeared, but the person that is cooking is still cooking. So what is this telling us? We need to continuously evolve our business, otherwise we will disappear. Okay? Do you have any questions so far? So I think that we have the radio and TV host. She's like checking our time. So there's an advertisement. Otherwise, the sponsors will get mad. It's like in the TV. So we have a questions in the back. We need the microphone because we are streaming. I was when you talk about the spiritual guides, we have a lot of people offering management courses, coaching courses, and it's impressive how many people that go to this kind of courses. I know them. Maradona. This is just because that through what you know, what you have inside, you reveal something that you already know. Probably they have problems in their lives, but this business is like quite impressive. Here they have, in Mexico, they have also success. Well, in Argentina also, all the psychologists have a lot of job, like a person that is that performs coaching. That is okay. There's specialized people that help a lot, but this is a growing business in Argentina as well. There was another question. I just want to make a comment. Well, it's my experience. My children, a few years ago, they started a business with bracelets and necklaces, and my daughter designed the page in Instagram, and it took her like 2 months to do this. Everything is on Instagram, and you deposit and you have it sent to your place, but they want to have followers, and this is their only interest. It is like this new generation and the following generations. When they see that Instagram has a lot of followers, they go to the web page, and in less than a year, okay? So this is where we're going, absolutely. So we need to have our advertising, our firms should be published in all social media and have a lot of people following us. The more we are followed, the more we will sell. So it is important also to say that in your organization you have to include the new generation, and they don't want to be there because why I'm going to follow, or why sometimes they give like very surprising ideas, like the mathematical term was it occurred to my son, and I had it in front of me, but I didn't see it. My son saw that, and when we have like Google Maps, okay, it will no longer be cultural center cerebro. Just put it Centro Cultural Cerebro, and it just kicked because culture is now what they want. They see that we are like blind. This is like something that is that we have in front of us that make us not to see what is in front of us. What is the role of AI, artificial intelligence? We have robots that think, that do and decide. And the other thing, everything seems like to be kind of loose. Who is going to certificate this or certify this? AI and artificial intelligence, there's a machine first that has a series of established response, and when this is depleted, it is one. If you're asked this, you have to say that, and then we have the human. And then the other one was the other question, education. This is where the important is, like the coaching, the so-called coaching, how they are certified. The churches, like everyone is like establishing churches, how they got this like certification. So when we see this kind of things, the first thing like we need to ask is where were they certified, and then we can believe them, because we can have like fake people that they just want to charge us X amount of money, and at the end we don't win. So please, a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. A big round of applause. I think that your talk was really interesting. Thank you for all your contributions. And if I'm not in that field, I didn't want to interrupt you. So we're going to ask Adriana Hernandez to give you your acknowledgement. The picture, the photo, please.
So I will just set aside for the picture. Good morning to all of you. I'm going to grant this diploma of participation from UC&CS Global for his participation in the Global Economy module. Thank you for your contribution. We're really thankful.